You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. Are you serious? No, you have to do it. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other? Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here. You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time. With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning, but she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from...
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful.
Just stay focused and you'll be fine. The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. You're on a path. You're here to slay her. If you don't, don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning. She will lie. She will cheat.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Ignore him. He doesn't know. The interior of the cabin. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. door to the basement creaks open, revealing a stair. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello?
It's
Don't let it fool you. It's all part.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
Okay. Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right? That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one. I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here.
It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing.
Either way, she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here. It'll be the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your way.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work.
You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door.
It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold you very long anyways. But it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
No, it doesn't.
I can be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
Whose side are you on?
Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her. A warning. She will lie.
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very...
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone. The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade The blade is your implement.
Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us.
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. So deep breath in. You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad. You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Steel.
Is it gonna be enough, though?
The blade is the only thing you know. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back?
You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't...
Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Talking won't do you any good.
Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen on talking anyway.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible again. She could be anywhere, and there's...
Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is?
No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you.
Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. We're going to die down here.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you.
You turn to the right. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it.
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Nerves. Wait, I'm working! Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. You sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Liver.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
Heart, lungs.
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
Nerves. She isn't attacking us. Lungs. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Nerves. Heart. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late. Lungs. Liver. Nerves. Heart. 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 Lungs. Liver. Are you serious? Heart. Lungs. You fling the blade into the void, denying yourself the opportunity to ever slay her and finish your mission. Nobody's happy here, but maybe it's for the best. Liver. Nerves.
You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
Lungs. She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
This is all too much. I can't keep going. You can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
You're on a path in the... Shit! Shit! What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing?
There was a princess, I think.
You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I guess. It feels so long ago, almost...
We have to let her out.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here. Slay, we decided not to do that. Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever.
We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart?
We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us? To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love. Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us. This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here? You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the... No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there. Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it. He always lies. And he always makes it gone. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. You know that as well as I do. She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why... You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin. The cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it. Smash it to pieces.
She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free.
It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what. Proceed. Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific. That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see?
We're one step closer to her.
The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure therein. The only object of note is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it to take it. It's the only way forward. You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it, you lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep, deep in the bowels of the earth. You see something. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said
closer.
I was having some fun.
And closer.
Watching over me forever? That was so...
And closer.
But forever is so... Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not... All that's left is for you to take me. It'll be so much fun. You and me, take a witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Now don't pose. Don't try to resist.
Do something. Do anything that isn't take. You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
I didn't think I'd be so tired. Why is it so cold?
She's gone.
Yeah. That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be with...
Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different. Doesn't seem like there's much.
Finally!
Oh, will you
What do we say, boys? One.
Yeah.
Seems we've got a majority.
Something tells me that
It feels the fears.
I'm done fighting. My heart feels the game was always going. I'll be free of... I'm ready for the truth.
I'm ready.
I'm just ready to be anywhere.
Boys, it's...
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now. There's nowhere for you to be but here. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're... That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path. A warning. She will lie.
We're not going to go through with this.
Ignore him. He doesn't. The interior of the cabin is almost a blade is your implant. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess. The door to her voice.
Who's there?
Don't let it fool you.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd...
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly focused on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? How about you drop the knife, and the two of us just... talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reason.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Believe me.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around. Are you serious? As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you.
This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her. A warning. She will lie.
We might as well just...
Can we tone down the pessimism?
I'm not being a pet.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bicker.
I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then
Rescue her. So please try.
if that's what you want.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
We don't feel small.
No blade this time.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be more receptive.
Blade, no blade. It doesn't matter. The door to the basement creaks open.
This is actually...
It's still a stone basement. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't...
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. You shouldn't have come down here unarmed. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude?
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to... The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well...
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try and kill me. How sweet. And more than a little disappointing.
She's disappointed in us?
Kneel.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And yet here you are again. This time groveling at my feet. What a wretched sight. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met... Nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal with her.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us.
There was nothing we could do to stop her then, and there's nothing we can do to stop her now.
He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen?
Can she do that?
There's nothing she can't do.
Confused, meek, a chorus of submissive indecision. Is that why you came to me unarmed? It doesn't matter. All of it is easily brushed aside. And there it is. I am destined to end the world. Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily, but that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours. This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart. Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. an echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about?
I don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon. All you need to do is believe it's been done. Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
She's gone. Is that a... This does... I don't want to look at...
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to... Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin, a warning. But she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air... The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all...
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around...
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steal your...
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you... I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? So, you should...
She's unarmed. If you... You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes. Even as she lays there dying, but it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy. so glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just going to stay here forever, right?
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess.
More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.